Hey there, witches, pagans, and magical practitioners of all stripes of YouTube. It's me, your boy Shane, all dressed up and nowhere to go today. And I wanted to make a video for you. It's a little bit of a two-parter. The first part is actually a quick review of a really cool company that I stumbled across on thetwitter.com called Quadrivium Oils, and I really hope I pronounced that correctly because, again, I've only ever seen it in print, online on the internet, but Quadrivium Oils, and they are a wholesaler, but if you are interested in finding them for yourself, I'll leave some information at the end about a couple of retail shops where you can pick up their stuff. So yeah, I received these oils and they come, first things first, in this kind of really nice packaging with the logo, a short description, and a lot of information on the back, which is really important because they've got the disclaimer and, they talk about the importance of doing a patch test and, making sure that you're not allergic to any of the ingredients, what the carrier oil is, which is sweet almond oil for most of their products, unless otherwise listed, and how to use them, but more importantly, how not to use them, right? Don't touch your eyes, mouth, don't ingest them, don't, get all your grubby hands all up in your mucous membranes. So I like a company that, puts that information in there up front and make sure that you want to use their products safely. And then, like I said, the oil themselves, they come with really nice, cute little packaging, sort of. Is it going to focus on that? Maybe, maybe not. And the two that I got were House and Home and Anointing Oil. So, I did receive these samples complimentary from the owners in exchange for my fair and honest review. So I'm pretty sure that I have to disclose that, right? But this is 100% how I authentically feel about the product. But it starts to become relevant because when I was in contact with the owners via email, they had sent me a list, a really cool long list of all their different oils. And they've got all your standard, money drawing, love drawing, stop gossip, boss fix, Van oil, civil court case, road opener, things like that. I don't do a lot of hoodoo. I know a lot of those formularies and recipes come from some different traditions. So not a lot of those interested in me. And I asked about House and Home and the anointing oil. So, first things first, as soon as you uncap them, you can tell this is a quality product. They both have a lovely scent. It's not overbearing. It's not that cloying, too sweet. A lot of magical oils that are kind of cheaply made and manufactured and not of the highest quality. It just smell really almost sickly sweet. Or they smell like you open it and you're it just smacks you in the face oh, cinnamon. Okay, you really like cinnamon. Got it. And this isn't that, and I don't mean to review a product by describing what it isn't, but I've had such bad experiences with a lot of lines of ritual oils in the past that's actually something that's really important to me. I hate that, like I said, just that sickly, cloying, too sweet smell. These smell really good. It's a subtle scent. It's not going to overpower, your incense or your candles or your, whatever else you kind of have going in the ritual space. It's just going to kind of blend in seamlessly and enhance it. They just smell like magic. I don't really know how else to articulate it. It really just has that smell of oh yes, something's cooking. Something magical is about to start. And all those kinds of smells and bells that put you in that ritual headspace. So they have a beautiful scent. They are a mix of essential oils with, some of them have some solid ingredients, like the House and Home. And again, I don't know how well the camera's going to focus on this, but it looks like there's some solid stuff, maybe some resins in there. So they're beautifully made, and they are not greasy at all, which again, I appreciate. I've had not great oils in the past that were just absolutely just tons of grease, and really like feeling very cheap. And these are beautiful. I've already kind of rubbed down and anointed some candles with them. These are some candles that I have for like peace in the home. So what I would love to do with the house and home oil is, just some work to keep the peace and keep everything nice and diplomatic and friendly and respectful. I have a roommate. We have a great relationship. He's been in some of these videos, so you've met him probably. But living with another person is challenging sometimes. And, you always want to make sure that nobody's stepping on anyone else's autonomy and, things get stressful. So I just like to keep, some peace in the household. I don't have the luxury of working from home like a lot of people right now. Unfortunately, I'm an essential worker, and I am going out into the workplace. But I am doing remote learning in my college classes, so I like to have a nice, peaceful atmosphere here at home while I'm doing my studying, my homework, writing my papers. And then, in addition to that, I also intend to use it for with going to, and I've spoken about this in other videos and other places, with attending school and starting nursing school next year proper, I need my home situation stable. I can't be on top of everything else I have going on. I can't be worried about, having to move or having the rent raised or whatever. So I feel like house and home kind of covers a lot of different types of work that I can do. So I really like it. And like I said, I anointed a couple of candles already, and they dry down really nice. So like I said, they're not greasy at all. They just kind of sink right into the candles, and they just have a really lovely sheen. And it's not, when you go to pick it up, your hands aren't absolutely coated with like schmutz. Super important. So that's the house and home. The other one, and again, when I was in contact with the owners of Quadrivium Oils, choosing which ones I'd like to try, I was like, oh, the anointing oil. And they said, okay, but it's just so you know, it's pretty much your basic, straightforward anointing oil, nothing really special. Well, I disagree, because I actually really like this. And again, it's got just a really pleasant scent. It's kind of got that like, it's clean, it's magical, but you can't put your finger on it. And that's what I like. I don't want my oil to smell like lavender. I don't want my ritual oils to always smell like cinnamon, It's just got that like, ooh. And, anointing oil, I love a good all-purpose oil. It's great to kind of like oil your ritual tools every once in a while, like your thami or your wand, so that the wood doesn't dry out and crack. Keep your metal nice and kind of oiled up so it doesn't rust. And just for like general ritual blessings. And like I said, do conduct the patch test. Do check it out on a kind of inconspicuous part of your, the inner part of your elbow or the inner part of your wrist, so that you don't react. Make sure that you don't have a reaction to it. But once you know that it's safe for your skin, this is going to be a beautiful oil to like ritually consecrate someone. It's just a beautiful all-purpose oil. And it's nice to have something magical and special to use for an anointing oil, because I have not found one that I've liked in a long time. And I've just been using like grapeseed oil or like coconut oil or, vegetable oil, which is fine. But like I said, sometimes it's really nice to have something, special and set aside for ritual purposes. And so it kind of remains that, and not like, oh yeah, I gotta go get it out of the altar because now I have to cook with it, right? So yeah, I highly recommend them. I can see myself purchasing from them once the samples run out. And again, they are wholesalers, so for the time being at least. And you can find their products at Arts and Craft in Van Buren County, Michigan, or at Draconis Arcanum in Nashville, Tennessee, if you're so inclined. So that is the first part of the video. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was some good information for you guys. The second part of the video has to do with being a witch and keeping your word. So you might be curious about, like, what's good, Shane? You don't drop a video for like almost a whole last month, and then the first thing that you talk about when you come on the YouTubes is like a review of some ritual oils? Like, all right. And I get it, right? Because that's a little bit off-brand for me, but the thing is it was important for me personally to make this video as soon as possible, simply because I promised the owners that I would. I've had some interesting conversations with witch friends recently. Like, if I have the same conversation or very similar conversation with 2 or more people in a short time span, then that probably means something. That's probably significant. That's probably something that I should be taking a look at as well. So in the last week or so, I've had a kind of a similar conversation with 2 good witch friends, at least, maybe more, about what it means to be a witch and kind of what that means for your word, right? And I read years ago, and I love this saying, that a witch's word must have the validity of a signed and witnessed oath. And I love that. And it's 100% true, right? And here's why. If you are constantly saying that you are going to do something, and then you don't do it, you are teaching your subconscious mind that your will is not terribly strong. Or put another way, right? If you're a little bit more woo-woo than I am, if you are constantly saying that you are going to do something, and then you do not follow through and do it, then you are teaching the universe, or you're teaching your ancestors, or you're teaching your gods, or whatever, that your will is not very strong, and that your words may or may not have much power to back them up. So if I say, I will get this new promotion at work, or I will meet the love of my life, my subconscious, or the universe, or your gods, however you conceive of how magic works, might hear that and say, well, that's great, but you also said these 10 other things and you didn't do any of those. So I'm a big believer in following through and doing the things that I say that I'm going to do. And I haven't always been that way. I was a very big procrastinator, and part of my special brand of depression is I suffered from a lot of executive dysfunction. So I found it very difficult to complete a lot of tasks, even very simple tasks, even short tasks, even necessary tasks. Like, we're talking, I am on the last pair of underwear, turning them inside out, attempting to wear them again, like, before I go and do the laundry, knowing the laundry needs to be done and still not able. Like, I suffered from my executive dysfunction for a really long time. I've been on Lexapro for about 11 months, and it's helped me a lot with that. But some of that also has to come from me. And the funny thing about going back to school when you're 38 years old and also working full-time is that you don't have time to procrastinate. You really don't. I have to make a schedule, and I have to stick to it. And if I don't, things can snowball out of control very quickly. And it's not a good time. So, I've had to really plan out my weeks very carefully and say, this is when I'm in class, and this is when I go to work, and this is when I'm going to do homework. That's when I'm going to study. That's when I'm going to write my paper. That's when I'm going to write my pen pal. That's when I'm going to make a video, whatever obligations or responsibilities I have taken on. And there's just no time for procrastination anymore. I just had like a come to Jesus moment, like a semester or 2 ago, and I was like, I have to get my fucking act together. Get your shit together, Shane. So, procrastination used to be, more of an issue for me. And, as in the past few months, I've been thinking about it and thinking about, again, what that means as a witch, and about, you know, teaching your subconscious or teaching the universe that your will is not very strong. Because, you know, I can't count the times I've said to someone like, yeah, absolutely, we have to get together, we have to have lunch, we have to make it happen. And it doesn't happen, right? Because life just gets away from you. Or, yeah, I'll write that, you know, that book review or the review of that tarot deck, and I'll send it out on, yeah, as soon as I'm done, I'll design that logo for you, no problem. No, I can probably get to it this weekend, no worries. And it just doesn't happen. And that is something that I have committed to stop doing. So, I received these oils on Monday, and I said to myself, on Wednesday, when I am done with work and therapy, I have a couple of hours free in the afternoon, I am going to do my reviews. You know, I'm going to write them, I'll put them on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, what have you, and get it out there because I said I was going to do it. And again, that's something that I think is an underutilized magical tool in our toolbox, right? The development of the will. I read another exercise, and I wish to the gods I could remember where I read this so that I could cite it for you, so that if you were interested, you could also look it up. But it was a set of magical training techniques for a beginner, where you started with very, very small and simple tasks, such as, like, I will now touch my nose, and then you did it. I will now touch my forehead, and then you did it. I will now spin in a circle. I will now go up and down the stairs, whatever. And you would gradually build up in, you know, scope and complexity of those tasks. And that was a will training exercise. Like, that was again, you know, teaching your unconscious mind, or however you conceive of magic to work, that the things that you are putting out there and the things that you are claiming happen. And as far as magical exercises go, I love that. I think that's great. So yeah, so that's why I decided to break my YouTube hiatus, which it wasn't official. I have just been absolutely slammed with school and work. And I hope you've missed me. You're all probably watching this like, did not even notice you were gone. But that's why I just wanted to come back and talk to you guys for a few minutes. And I hope you're all doing well, that you're all safe and healthy and taking care of yourselves and each other. All right, until next time.